Hi, thank you all for joining me here today. My name is Christian Cardoza, and I am the manager of marketing here at our company. And today I want to be talking about the adoption of social media marketing. All right. So thank you again for choosing me to conduct this research on emerging marketing techniques. Currently, social media marketing is the fastest growing vessel of advertisement. And I have completed extensive research on how to push the company in a modern direction and help you capitalize on these benefits. Using professional and government sources, I have found multiple steps our company can take to finally get your product into the spotlight. This report will include the benefits and potential drawbacks of social media marketing, then finally some recommendations on how to implement social media marketing into your company. Alright, so let's get right into it. The first benefit I want to talk about today is going to be connectivity. Social media is a relatively new instrument for advertising, and it allows for a kind of connectivity between businesses and consumers that has never been seen before. Now you can reach thousands upon millions of consumers that may have never heard of your product 20 or 30 years ago. As you can see here on this graph, roughly 3/4 of Americans owns a smartphone. And the main thing that we're doing on these smartphones is using social media. That's where 90% of our time has gone in recent years. So like this quote here, it says, by 2019, it is estimated that there will be around 2.77 billion, that's with a B, users, social media users around the globe, up from 2.5 billion in 2017. So that's an entire 500 million new users in just 1 year. So not only is the American market booming in smartphone and social media technology, but the entire globe is as well. By successfully implementing a social media advertising campaign, we can create awareness for our product that can equate to millions in profits and growth. And the second benefit I want to talk about today is brand awareness. Simply having a website for your company isn't sufficient in today's world. There are thousands of advertisers all fighting for the consumer's attention, and having a public brand that is actively and ethically engaged in social media will bring the kind of attention that turns into products being sold. And continuing with that, maintaining a specific brand image and avoiding misinformation about your product has been a concern for you, and I understand that. It's reasonable. But social media is the perfect answer to these worries. Social media allows a company to regularly inform and update the public about your products, especially if some potentially damaging information surfaces. You can easily inform the public about the situation and calm any hostile feelings towards the company. As long as you just handle the situation in a respectful manner, it should be okay. And the third benefit I want to talk about today is going to be market research. Social media often doubles as a free tool to conduct market research. People are very happy to voice their opinions on products. Whether they be positive or negative, people just want to be heard. And social media gives them this opportunity. You can take advantage of this interaction to see current market trends domestically and internationally. Then apply changes where necessary to maintain growth. With a translator of some sort and a globally cultured mindset, you can easily emerge into foreign markets that would have been costly and difficult to reach before. The biggest advantage of all of this is that it's free. And that brings me on to my next benefit, affordability. Now I know while our company has tried to purchase boosts and pay-per-click programs in the past, none of it has seemed to work, and that's because the best advertising is free. I have a quote here from the Digital Marketing Institute from an article posted in 2019, and it says, "It costs little to nothing to run an email marketing campaign with user-friendly email management tools such as Marketo and MailChimp. All that's needed is a persuasive text from the subject line to the body, a timeline that fits with our own marketing goals, an enticing call to action, and finally a great landing page. All it takes is a very small initial investment to get your product to be contagious online. Once you create an enticing advertisement campaign, and start to create some buzz around your product, the rest of your customer acquisition costs are essentially zero. Word of mouth and buzz are what fuels social media and the selling of products. The only thing you need to do is to catch on to something trending or become trending yourself. All free if you employ the right tactics. Now, research can be concluded without having the potential drawbacks involved. So one of those, as you may know, is finding the right audience. Social media does not seem to be the right tool when used when trying to sell baby food, but everything that goes viral on social media seems to either be a cute animal, a disaster, or something exciting like that, right? However, with the billions of users who now use social media regularly, there has been an influx of diverse communities. These communities sometimes have millions upon millions of members and are grouped together based off of a similar interest. There is a group for everybody, and given the nature of human interaction, we want to be around people that are like us. These groups find huge success, especially in a world rocked by the coronavirus. The pandemic forced everybody into isolation and pushed the digital landscape forward exponentially. Thus, these online communities have had the opportunity to flourish. Now more than ever, there is a digital group for every single interest, hobby, and lifestyle out there, especially parenthood. I found this article this was the first article that popped up after a simple Google search, and they're all centered around parenthood and things to feed your child, exactly what we're trying to market. With one simple Google search, I found 20 groups that we can use. And so, continuing on, another potential drawback might be misinformation and slander. Containing the misinformation that can be spread online is crucial for a successful ad campaign. Social media can have a devastating impact on the public image of a brand and their profits. It often takes a team of PR professionals to monitor a company's social activity routinely and successfully. This may be the largest and perhaps only cost to social media advertising, but it's well worth it when you consider the lawsuits and everything that you could potentially have if you don't employ a PR team. And so, being that your product is using a new technology that the public may not know much about, it's likely that the misinformation may be spread about the details of the product's creation and ingredients. However, social media is, like I said before, social media is the greatest tool to combat this incorrect information. Educating the public regularly with posts and videos about our product will greatly reduce the amount of misinformation being spread. And if someone has questions or concerns about your new technologies in baby food, they can come to the source directly online and even speak with the company representative almost immediately. And finally, we're going to move on to some recommendations that I have if we are to implement a social media advertising campaign in our own company. And my first recommendation for you is to commit to the campaign. The number one reason companies find success on social media is because they remain consistent. Creating content and growing an audience requires constant attention and labor. And if we are to successfully place ourselves on social media, we must be engaging and fully present. At a minimum, weekly posts are needed. We're going to need engaging and exciting content, and we're going to have to maintain a constant presence online. And that means answering questions and concerns ASAP. And there are new programs available that we can use that actually it's a program that automatically has an automatic set of replies for any sort of concern that the customer might have, and it's all based off of an algorithm and all that. And it does cost a little bit, but it does make it very convenient for us. We don't have to employ as much labor or time in that aspect. And another recommendation I have is to work with influencers. I think this is probably the biggest thing that we should focus on if we are to do social media advertising campaign. So the dictionary says that an influencer is a person with the ability to influence potential buyers of a product or service by promoting or recommending the items on social media. And this is exactly what we need to make your product successful. A business influencer relationship is often mutually beneficial in terms of awareness and credibility growth, I should say. Fans of the influencer will trust their opinion on the product and test it, and the influencer sponsorship from a professional company increases their own credibility. So to employ the efforts of an influencer, you usually just have to offer them a unique discount code that their fans can use, and of course free products that they advertise on their channels of entertainment. And it's all for a relatively low cost. You can introduce your product to a huge potential market and gain loyal customers because they trust what the influencer has to say, so they will trust your product in turn. So, in conclusion, taking on social media advertising may seem like a daunting task, filled with uncertainties and large costs. However, the benefits that come from running a successful campaign are just what we need to finally push your product into the spotlight. Unfortunately, your company has a severe lack of presence on social media currently, and having an active presence on social media will give us access to millions of customers and free insights on how to improve the company. Best of all, there are hundreds of methods to promote your brand and product for relatively no cost. I realize it may take time to find the right audience and establish a PR team to monitor social activity. However, there are plenty of communities to access, and the profits you gain far outweigh any potential costs. Therefore, I strongly recommend that we implement a social media advertising campaign by the end of 2021. All right, and that's it. Thank you for your time, everybody. I hope this was informative, and if you could please reach back to me with a decision by the end of the week, it would be greatly appreciated. Thank you.